We are live. We are live. We are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the wrestling show that doesn't have a name. That's just the way it's going to go. That's just the way it's going to be. We're going to continue with this because I like it. I like it that way. I don't care to have a name because what we're talking about, everybody knows when we get in here and we see these two faces here. It's wrestling, it's WWE, it's whatever's popping right now with WWE, and we love to talk about it. Still sitting next to me, or you see that face next to me, it's my man Josh Tarrip. How are you doing, sir?
Hi, Barry. Right next to you. How's it going? I'm doing the best I can. Obviously, my voice isn't all there between surprise streak of California rain,
Yeah,
and working wrestling shows myself over the weekend, yelling. That has caused me to get a little under the weather. But I am never too sick to spend time and talk with you. And we know I'm never sick about wrestling because I
right.
have a problem.
Exactly.
Addiction.
You are extremely addicted to the sport that is wrestling, and
It's in my
that's why I like
veins.
it. Yeah, it's in your blood, it's in your veins. I'm sick as well, is because I have kids that get you sick, right? So that's just the way it goes. And people, we love children. They're great to have around, but at
Feel
the
like
end of
there's a
the
butt
day,
coming.
yes, they are germ centers. Okay, they are just they share germs, they pass spit. It's just gross. All right. So when they come to us back home, we get all that stuff that they catch from school. It's not fun. It's not fun for adults. So I am battling, but I am here to talk wrestling with my man Josh. Monday Night Raw. Let's just get into it.
Yeah, we need to talk about Raw because this was a little different of a Monday Night Raw.
It
Not
was.
just because it was John Cena's last Raw.
Right.
Not just because it was at the Mecca of Madison Square Garden, but you, Bear Grant Jr., were in attendance at this Monday Night Raw.
I was.
Now, first off, to people that have not been to Madison Square Garden for really anything in general, but a wrestling event, I've got to be there once. My first WrestleMania was WrestleMania 20 at the Garden.
Nice.
So I've been there once. So I've experienced the aura and the atmosphere of the Garden. Describe what it's like and why it's like no other place to watch wrestling.
I mean, the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway from that is the fans, right? Like the fans, the just the essence and the vibe of New York when it comes to wrestling, because this is a rabid wrestling town, just like Chicago, just like Boston, just like this is a rabid wrestling town. You have guys that come out, you have the fans that come out in droves, they support, they're very passionate. So you feel that energy just stepping onto the street. You haven't even gotten to the building yet. You feel the energy that it's just that palpable feeling of, oh man, this is going to be one of those nights. You get into the building and it's a whole vibe. People are high-fiving, people are talking, nobody knows each other, but you leave there with friends for life because that's just the vibe and the energy that people have. And it doesn't hurt either that the fact that John Cena's last Monday Night Raw, it just had a different feeling. Like there's just people that were just super excited. Everybody's wearing John Cena shirts. His latest merch. I didn't like the merch.
You didn't like the
Because
Yankee merch?
nah, I didn't like that because it's like we not in the Bronx. All right, we are in the city. If you're gonna be in Madison Square Garden, you make sure you have Nick colors on or something like that. Don't do that. Don't come here with that nonsense. Okay, I didn't like that.
CM Punk years ago told John Cena he became the New York Yankees,
Yes.
so it was only right for him to have some New York Yankees merch.
Well, see that now I don't like it. Now I don't like it. Okay, but nah. So we get there and I'm excited. Everybody excited, and we get there early, so we're hyped. We see Wade Barrett come out. We see Joe Tessitore come out. So everybody's we're just waiting. We're waiting for that Netflix sign to put to get up there, right? So we see that Netflix sign hit there. Everybody starts going crazy, and now people are starting to get jittery, right? You start seeing the feet start to tap dance, and people are nudging each other, and everybody got their phones. Everybody got their phones to the entrance, and when that music hit, Josh, that place blew up. Cena comes out, man, and I'm talking about people are crying. I see people crying, taking pictures. It was great. It was great, you know? And we get him in the ring. Dom comes out, and then it's the hodgepodge. We get a match. It was great. And the fact that Ray came out, we was like, oh, that's crazy. When Ray still looks so good. It's amazing.
Ray is the wrestling fountain of youth. Ray is 76 years old.
Yeah, he
still wrestles like he's in his 30s.
He doesn't age. The guy, the only thing that's different on Rey Mysterio right now is the fact that he got a goatee. And it just looks weird in the actual mask, the fact that he has a goatee now, right? Like, he's old. He got that old man look now, right? He doesn't care. He doesn't care to be clean faced anymore. He's clean faced for 40 years. He don't care, right? So that's the thing. And then Sheamus looks good, right? He doesn't look a day older than when he got in there. It's the same guy I'm looking at. So
hey, from a fellow extreme white guy, pale doesn't frail, man. It doesn't.
Don't try to put that in there. All right. Don't try to make it sound
cool pale doesn't frail.
Pasty. He's pasty.
I'm pretty damn pasty myself. I mean, yes, I look like a bronze god compared to Sheamus.
Yes, you do. 100%.
But I can't tan to save my life.
Yeah. I'm sure you burn precipitously.
I'm either this color or maroon. There's no in between.
My goodness, there's no in between. Terrible. So listen, and I didn't even talk about it, but Dom is so good. Dom comes out there and he has the crowd in his hands. They're booing him like crazy again, where he can't get a word in. Right? They're screaming F-bombs at him. It's just so New York. It was dope. So we get the match, get the impromptu match. Obviously, we get the hits, right? John Cena was probably on the apron 78% of the match. He comes in there, gets his 5 moves of doom. And, we get a 15 knuckle shuffle. Everybody gets their finishers off. It was just
how'd you like Sheamus pulling Cena to be in the center of that?
Oh, it was great. That's the way it should have been. Like, it was just, just the story behind Sheamus and John Cena. We talked about it before, that John Cena was so gracious to be able to put Sheamus over so early in his career with WWE that it made Sheamus, like, without that moment, without that tables match all those years ago, we don't know what Sheamus is today, but it made him relevant immediately, saying, yo, this is not a guy to mess with. You know what I'm saying? And he has lived up to that moniker for as long as he's been here. You know what I mean? So shouts to Sheamus, shouts for John Cena to be able to understand the business and know that, hey, listen, this is a guy that I got to help to get over so we can be able to grow our business and have another star that I can be able to face, and have another star that can be able to carry this company at some point. So I love that. Love the fact that Ray was there. Again, Dom was great. Finn Balor and JD came out. It was great. It was just a nice feeling. It felt like a house match, right? Yeah. But that's what it was that night. Like, it just had a vibe. Like, it had a house vibe look, a house match look, or house show look. That's what I'm gonna
say. I really want to emphasize with this match. Now, obviously, you were there. I'm watching it, at home, and it was kind of that. This is a bonus dark match after Raw setup, or a main event of a house show setup. And one thing that gets forgotten so often when we watch Raw, and not just people in general watch Raw, or any podcast that breaks things down, is it's okay for a match to just be fun.
Yes.
And just be, hey, this ain't going to be a match of the year candidate. It's not going to be something that you're going to remember to the ends of time. It's just going to be like, hey, this is a feel-good moment. Cena's out there with 2 old friends. They're giving this spotlight to Judgment Day. You're getting, because Dominic's already having the experience with Cena, and now you're letting Finn and JD have a moment as well with him. Right. Sheamus and Ray get in the team with him. all of them doing the Sheamus punches together, all of them doing the 5-knuckle shuffle together. It was just fun. It felt fun. It was nice to see. And it's another one of those things we touched on this last week on, well, why wasn't the Cena match the main event? And why wasn't this the main event? This time I can understand why it wasn't the main event.
Yeah.
For a few reasons. One, you wanted to give it as much time, as you want to kick it off, to get the crowd to be as excited and loud as possible, because this type of crowd, the Garden crowd, the New York City crowd, they're going to stay like that for the duration of the show, no matter how long it takes.
Absolutely.
The other thing to look at on the rating side, well, you did have the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football.
Right.
And now in this case it wasn't, but if that game was a close game heading to the end or going to overtime or anything like that, you don't want people changing the channel to go watch the end of that game. Now, again, in this case, they didn't need to because the game was disgusting. But then you ensured that everyone was tuning in to Raw because that's what they needed to tune in for.
Right.
So yeah, it was fun, and I will tell you, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous. I'm a little jealous that you
should be.
You got to see one of the final Cena matches.
Yeah, you should be. Listen, I am extremely tempted, Josh. I'll tell you right now, I'm extremely tempted to go to DC. I am.
How much money are you going to spend on that?
Listen, let's not talk about money here, okay? We're talking about
no, because if I knew you had that type of money, you'd be flying me out first class to go too.
No, there is no way. There's absolutely no way that I am going there. I listen, as much as I love John Cena, I love my pockets even more. It's not happening. But yeah, it was I'm trying to see if I can be able to load up some of these videos that I actually took.
You made recordings and are going to display them without the express written consent of World Wrestling Entertainment? I'm sure you were the only one in the arena who pulled their phone out to record stuff.
I want to feel important because not everybody has a show. Okay, so I want to go ahead and show these things because so if I can. But yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, so we get the match. It was great feel. Just like you said, man, sometimes it's good to just have the feel good moments. And I don't think we get that a little too much in wrestling, where we just have a very fun match. Yeah. Everything has to be so damn serious sometimes, and it has to be meaningful. Nah, like wrestling back in the day, like you used to have these matches pushed into a card, right? Like, and you have your other stuff. Like, there's variety. I don't need to see the same match for 6-7 matches. I need some variety. I need some fun matches. I need some comedy stuff in there. Like, this is what a wrestling is about. And that was just a really, really feel good moment. And to piggyback off of your point, yes, it gave them more time. But isn't this typical John Cena, that he's going to go ahead and want to start the show and then leave the rest of the show to the young guys that are going to carry the company for the next X amount of years? Like, I want to be here. I want to open the show and say and tell people thank you for supporting me. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I am not the end all be all for the show. There's a lot more great stuff that is going on tonight, and I don't want to overshadow that. You know,
and he's even doing that with that last Saturday night's main event. How he pushed, and he talked about this with Sam Roberts on Tuesday, where he has set up, because he understands, obviously the entire Saturday night's main event is going to be about him. But he's like, well, we need to make sure that we're spotlighting NXT guys in exhibitions against guys on the main roster. So yeah, we can celebrate me, but I want to make sure that everyone watching is seeing where the WWE is going. Yeah. And even though so we're gonna, hopefully see your Javon Evans, your Obafemis, your Ethan Pages, your Ricky Saints, your JC James, your all of them.
Absolutely.
So however many they can throw on a card. So there's probably going to be like a 6 or 8 person type tag matches on there, so you can get more faces in there. And again, all these matches, like he specified, they're exhibitions. So
Yeah.
all these are just going to be fun
Yeah.
matches.
Exactly.
It's going to be fun. And it makes me really looking forward to that Saturday night's main event. So I'm kind of crossing my fingers in a weird way and being hopeful that Dom beats Cena at Survivor Series, so he doesn't have to defend the IC title on this show. So his match can just be fun, and we're not concerned about a title.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that's the only way to do it, though, Josh. Like, you cannot. Cena has to drop the belt at Survivor Series. Like, he just has to. Like, he cannot have it going towards. And we're going to talk about the actual last time is now tournament, but he can't have it there. So he has to drop it here. Obviously, they're not going to. They're probably not going to want Dom to win clean. It's going to be some shenanigans that happen. Right. So that's where we get it. But like it has to happen in regards to him dropping the title at Survivor Series. And it's only right for them to do that, right? Like you can give it to Dom, and then if you want to have Dom keep it for a little while and then he loses it again, whatever the plan is for that is fine. But Cena has to drop the title at Survivor Series.
Yeah. No, I agree. So, but let's talk about some other things, because again, experiencing stuff in the Garden. So we obviously talked on the Cena match.
Yes.
A lot of stuff happened on this Raw that you got to experience in the Garden.
Yes. Yes.
Where do you want to go? Do we want to go into a War Games match? Do we want to go into the tournament?
Well, yes, let's go into the tournament, because that's the video that I was actually trying to pull up right now, but I'm having issues finding it. So let's see. Oh, it hasn't uploaded yet. So obviously we get the tournament now, and we get Solo that comes out, right? And Solo is getting, everybody hates Solo, right? Everybody hates Solo. We can't stand Solo. People don't react to Solo, but I like Solo. I don't know. I like Solo. I like the fact that he's funny. He acts so serious, but he does have some comedy in him, man, and they need to get that out. But anyway, Solo gets a great reaction because people hate him. He has that real go away heat. And now we're waiting for the surprise. Now we're waiting for who the surprise mystery opponent is, right?
Yeah.
And people had who did you think it was?
Well, last week I predicted that the two surprises would be two of a group of 4.
Right.
I said they'd either be some combination of Joe Hendry, Cardona, Roman Reigns, or now I'm drawing a blank on whoever the 4th one was. But it wasn't this person.
Right.
So that said, out comes
So I wish I had a video, but I don't have it right now. Dolph Ziggler comes out. Josh, the place goes nuts. Like, his pop was just almost as big as John Cena's pop. It was huge. And on top of that, the entrance was fire. The swag was back. He looked great. The fans were happy to see him, and he's still one of the best workers in the business. Like, how he made Solo look in that ring in that match, it made you really remember, Solo's not that bad. But how good Ziggler is just made him that much more special. And I miss seeing Dolph Ziggler on WWE TV. I really do. Like, he's never been a guy to me that's been super appreciated by the front office just because of, I think what ended up messing Dolph Ziggler up is just because he could never get out of that Shawn Michaels mold. And as good as he is, he was just such a carbon copy of Shawn Michaels. And anytime you're a carbon copy of something, they never tend to appreciate you as much as the original. And Dolph Ziggler was great. He still is great, right? People love him. People love what he brings, like the stories that he tells in the rings, his selling, all of the things that he brought. Like even when he took that sternum shot into the corner, I'm like, man, I haven't seen somebody take a shot like that in a while, but it just felt so believable that he's buying into Solo's power, right? Buying into the spike, right? How he took the spike was just amazing. Everything about that match just made sense. It told the story. We knew that once I saw Ziggler, I knew that Solo was going to win. They weren't going to put Ziggler over, especially him being a TNA product, right? Like there's no way he was going to go over on Solo because they're trying to push the MFTs right now. They got the traditional Survivor Series match coming up. So obviously you want to have Solo look as strong as possible. But it was just a great match. Great to see Dolph Ziggler. Everybody in the building loved it. Like everybody had that good nostalgic feeling. And it was just good to see. And again, it was a good match. It wasn't like it was a bad match. It was a good match.
So here's the issue that I have with the tournament. And I am not disagreeing with anything that you just said.
Yeah.
That match was outstanding. And Dolph Ziggler proved how he makes anyone look 10 times better in the ring than they actually are. And Solo is great. Yeah. And Ziggler made him look like, oh, Solo belongs in the main event based on the rest of that match.
Right.
I also go back onto SmackDown where it was Matt Cardona, also known as Zack Ryder.
Matt Cardona, who's that?
Yeah. He looked a lot like Zack Ryder. I mix him up sometimes. But he was the mystery guy to take on LA Knight, and the two of them had a great match with LA Knight winning that match.
Yes.
Here's my dilemma. We have guys who, since they are no longer in the WWE, have made a name for themselves under different personas, which the different persona is their actual names.
Right.
And then WWE brings them back with the names that they own so they can sell extra merch, which is fine as long as you make sure Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler are getting cuts of that.
Right.
I got no problem with that. But the whole time we're going into this tournament with the wrestlers that we've seen, all of us have been like, who are the mystery guys going to be? Because that's who we're probably going to be rooting for to win this tournament.
Right, the outsiders. Right, exactly.
And both showed up, both got massive pops, both had great matches, and both lost clean.
Right. Right.
So now the surprise is gone in the first round. And now we look at who is left in this tournament. Yeah, you have two more first round matches on SmackDown, which we already know what they are. You got Finn Balor against Penta and Bronson Reed against Carmelo.
Yep.
So that will complete the bracket to then get to the final 8 for them to, however they're going to set up who faces who. So now we're looking at the wrestlers that are in this tournament to face Cena. And the natural response right now is, oh, yeah, Gunther's winning. Yeah, there's like no doubt at all. And because of that, as a fan, I don't want Gunther to win because that's the obvious choice. So then you look at, okay, well, who could win it then? Who could you make a legit, meaningful story behind winning the tournament besides Gunther? And I really feel there are only 2 other possible options. Sheamus, for some reasons we already touched on, because Cena helped make Sheamus. If it is Sheamus, Cena has to remain Intercontinental Champion, so they have that on the line.
Right.
But if Cena were to lose at the Survivor Series, then it can't be Sheamus. Then the only other one that we would want is Carmelo, because that's the one that's the only one in this bracket where you're like, we never thought we'd see that match.
Right.
other than that, I don't care who advances in this tournament. It's not against the wrestlers. It's not against the matches. The matches will be good. I would love to see LA Knight get that spotlight. It'd be interesting to see how they work Jey Uso in and how the crowd will react if Jey Uso is the one who wins it.
Oh God, come on, stop! No. No.
I would love Bronson Reed to be the guy to help. Like if he just beat Roman, hey, now you could be the guy. But I don't have the eagerness and excitement to see who's going to win this tournament because looking at it, we know it's going to be Gunther.
Yeah, they did a poor job with really keeping the suspense of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, whether it be the just the bracketing, I think was wrong. I think they should have found a way to have Javon Evans face Gunther in the finals. That would have made a lot of sense rather than just have that match just as a regular first round match or whatever it was. Like Javon Evans is the future of the company. And I think,
and with Javon on that note, since you got to watch that as well,
I
applaud them giving it time, so it wasn't like a squash by Gunther or anything like that.
They could have gave us so much more time had it been a final.
Yes to that, but also you only saw a fraction of what Javon Evans could do.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you don't want to give away everything at the beginning. I get that. But did he realistically do any type of moves on Raw that we've never seen any other guy do before?
No.
And we know he can because we've seen him do it.
Right. And that's the thing that I think, we kind of got robbed with. Not robbed, but it's just more about they could have told a way better story. You could have had, this unsung young guy that's worked his way up through the tournament. Now he's going against Gunther, who's back, who has his old theme back, by the way, which is amazing. When that played, I said, "Oh, okay, there he is. There he is. There's my guy. There's Walter. There's Walter." Right? But had you had this for the final, now you can be able to unlock Javon Evans. Now you can be able to unlock that because Gunther does very well with high flyers. He does well with guys that are smaller than him because that dynamic, the big versus small dynamic in wrestling is always a good one, especially when you have two good workers in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have put on a banger match. Like I remember how good the match was between Walter and what's my man name? Dragunov. All those years back, man. Like I still remember how great that match was. And we could have got
that match had no audience.
No audience, right? We could have got that match for the finals of this tournament. So I'm with you. As soon as I saw Gunther, as soon as I saw who he was facing, I said, okay, we know that Gunther's gonna win. Like
and Gunther came out to his old music.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, he's mad.
Yeah. Like I was over here looking for Imperium. I said, where they at? Where they? I was hyped, John. I was like, yeah, that's what I want. That's the Gunther that I like right there. You know what I mean? The killer. That's what I like. So, but yeah, good match. Gunther, he had a chop, Josh. I think they had went to commercial break at this time, but obviously we're live. We're watching it. It sounded like a gunshot went off in the arena. It was so loud. His chops are. I wouldn't take that for $5,000. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
Oh, I wouldn't take it for $500,000. And I've been chopped.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
I've never been chopped by anyone like Gunther.
I wouldn't do it. I would not do it. Moving on. How did you feel about the Nikki Bella, Stephanie Vacour segment there? Because I have my opinions about it, and I'd like to hear you first because you're Mr. Positive. Go ahead.
Oh.
Let me see how you're going to spin this into a positive.
You're testing Mr. Positive.
Yeah, go ahead and spin this into a positive, sir.
Well, for one, this was the only segment that I could tell from watching at home where the crowd seemed silent.
It was dead.
And I feel terrible for Stephanie Vaquer about that because she's incredible.
Yeah.
Nikki Bella and Brie, I'll put them together, have done tremendous things for the WWE in their careers in regards to bringing new audiences
Yes.
to wrestling. And I can personally credit this. My older sister, who always made fun of me watching wrestling as a kid, started watching Total Divas, years back when it was on. And she told me, it's like, now I'm really starting to understand why you enjoy wrestling. And she would regularly watch it. And she even brought my oldest nephew to a Monday Night Raw once. And she bought herself a Becky Lynch hat.
There you go.
And it was just like, I can't believe who I'm seeing. Yeah. And it's because of the Bellas who really, were the forefront with the Total Divas and Total Bellas. Yeah. So they deserve all the accolades for what they've done for the company and bringing new eyes to female wrestling. Nikki has never been the greatest wrestler.
No.
Brie was better than Nikki.
Yes.
For one. Nikki as a heel has never been believable.
Right.
I don't mind her as a babyface because her promo work helps a little bit, baby. Even though you might not be crazy about it or things like that, it works. And again, based from the mainstream success, fans love her, kids love her. It makes sense. It works out. Heel Nikki Bella did not work when she was Divas champion. It was not the boos of, oh, we're booing her because she's bad, and given the proper heat for a heel.
It's go away heat.
Booing her because we do not want her on our TV.
Yeah. Real go away heat.
Yeah. Yeah. And to see Stephanie Vaquer, who is at the top of the game right now, who is incredible. To be fair with her, still not the best with promo work because there's also a language barrier there, right, a little bit. But when you have Rhea and Io and Roxanne and Raquel and Charlotte and Alexa and Asuka and Kyrie and Lyra and Bailey. When I said Alexa, my Alexa went off when I said that. I just named 10 other wrestlers that are more entertaining in pretty much every aspect than Nikki.
Right.
And Nikki hasn't, and I even forgot about Becky and Natalia and even Maxine, which I know we're going to get into.
Yeah.
Fans are angry because here's someone that they didn't like back then and now is here and taking this slot
after losing
all these other people.
After losing 3 matches.
Yeah.
Put that in there.
Yeah. You go ahead there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you hit every point. I will try to be as kind as well. I think Nikki Bella is a legend. I think she deserves, I think she's earned her place to be in this division and be able to work with whoever she wants to work with. But at the same time, I just didn't like, and we've seen it for 2 weeks in a row now, that Stephanie Vaquer looks weak with how she's been utilized with being attacked. Like she got hit into the screen one time on Raw, and you would think that she got hit with a sledgehammer, how she couldn't get up. And she was just looking up at Nikki Bella going through the entire spiel of this promo that fell on deaf ears because nobody believed it, like you said. And here is this popular babyface that's on the floor just looking up at her. I'm just like, this is a learning moment for her. She will learn, she will understand, but this doesn't look good. And, you know, I hope that they find a way to be able to salvage this and make sure they have the match and we can just move on from that without dragging this out another month or another pay-per-view. Let's
Yeah.
end it here
Mhm.
because you're not going to get anything more out of what you're getting right now. And that's as nice as I'm gonna put it. That's as nice as I'm gonna put it. Moving on, Maxine Dupree. Maxine Dupree gets her shot.
Now you got your feel-good story here.
Yeah, man. Becky Lynch, who's been holding down the Intercontinental Championship. Listen, she has brought value to that title. She has made that title as significant as the women's heavyweight championship. That she has treated that title like it's the best thing going, and shouts to Becky Lynch for being able to do that, because that's why you put the belt on her in the first place. You wanted to get some relevancy for that title because it's such a young title. You want to make sure that it means something. And, you know, the Intercontinental title back in the day, it was the workman's title for anybody that got that belt. That was, you are our workhorse. You are a guy that's going to pull this mid card together. You're the guy that is like the engine of our program, right? You're not the main event guy, but you are the engine, and without you, our program is not as solid. That's what the Intercontinental Championship was. It was a badge of honor for somebody to be the Intercontinental Champion. I think for the women's Intercontinental Championship, after Becky Lynch, and we know, I'm gonna just say this: Maxine Dupree is not gonna have the belt for too long. You know, we're jumping the shark. But I think that they can be able to use this title to highlight some up and comers that need some time to be able to spread out a little bit and shine. Because if you would have told me a year ago that Maxine Dupree would be in the ring, Josh, I tell you, you're crazy, right? Because she was horrible.
Yeah.
And then she went down to NXT, and she didn't even stay down there too long. I'm just like, why? But she has worked her butt off.
Yes, she has.
To be as serviceable as she is right now, and I have nothing bad to say. I think it was a great moment. You know, when AJ came out, the place went bonkers again, and you know, we know what's being set up here. Maxine Dupree wins with the dive off the top rope, you know, traditional shock value type of stuff. Becky's mad. She's gonna get the title back, right? And then we're going to get Becky and AJ for the Intercontinental Championship, possibly. But you know, great moment. But go ahead.
I disagree on part of that.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, first, to go with Maxine, you want to talk about someone, like you said, who has worked her butt off.
Her butt off.
Has been grinding to gain the respect of the fans.
Yeah.
And because once upon a time, this was not even less than 2 years ago, there was a viral video of her, like, you know, making her way back after a match where people were heckling her, of like saying, you know, like, you like, stay out of the ring, blah, 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 you're terrible, this or that. And she is like, no, I'm going to put the work in. And she's been working with Natalia, and she's been working in Performance Center. And every time we've seen her, it's been a little better each time. And it got to the point where the fans started noticing it as well and getting behind her. Then she had a match with Becky. Becky beat her badly, but the crowd started to get with her. Then they did it again in her hometown of Sacramento, and the crowd was behind her. She got closer, and I think that one was the count-out victory that she had. And now in the Garden, you know whether or not you have earned respect of wrestling fans if you get a legit reaction in the Garden.
Right. You've been accepted.
And before AJ even came out, they were behind Maxine. Then when AJ, you know, Lee came out, now we're having the Rock Hurricane moment.
Right. And
it worked to perfection. And you could see the genuine emotion on Maxine's face when they handed her the title. She did like the little hug, excited with AJ, and then she looked at the title, and you see it on the face, that moment of,
holy crap, I did it. Yeah. Yeah.
And the crowd acknowledged it. And those are the types of moments where I still will tear up.
That's what makes wrestling great.
And that's what makes wrestling great.
Yeah.
That's what makes wrestling memorable.
Yeah.
To me, with all the things that happened on this Monday Night Raw, the most memorable moment to me was Maxine winning the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
And that's why people work in this business. You put in the hours, the days, the weeks, the month, the years, the injuries, the rejections, the stress, the family issues, the personal issues. You put them all in for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
You work for a moment.
Because those moments last a lifetime.
Exactly. This was Maxine's moment.
Yeah.
Now, to go into the part where I was telling you I slightly disagree at the end. I agree in the thought of, okay, so maybe Maxine won't hold the title for super long. But I don't see her losing it back to Becky.
Okay.
I see her having a feud with one of two people, or maybe even both. One is Natalya, because that's the only belt Natalya hasn't won.
Right.
And Natalya's the one who trained her and groomed her to get her to that point. So it only makes sense for her to turn on Maxine now to try to get it. And then you have like your student versus teacher story.
Right.
Or you give it to another up-and-comer, as you were mentioning. And to me, someone that they've started to build and then have taken off TV for a while to repackage, to adjust a little bit, is Ivy Nile.
Okay.
You got Chad Gable coming back soon. So then you're going to push the hell out of American Made. I don't know if you've even seen Ivy now. Her hair is completely different as well. Like she's got a whole new hairstyle, whole new look. So between her, the Creed brothers who have been off TV forever, and then Chad Gable coming back, they already touched on a mini feud with the two of them where Ivy dominated it. Now you can bring her in, and Maxine will eventually drop the title to one of those two.
Okay.
But again, it doesn't have to be drop it next week. She can have it for a few months to build into one of these.
Yeah.
So both to me make sense. I would prefer the Ivy Nile option to your point, to be bringing in other people. And then Ivy could be the one to drop it to someone who's currently in NXT. And you start grooming in more people, right? Because we're approaching Rumble season. That usually means the more people from NXT start being seen on Raw and SmackDown. Right. So you make this that workhorse type title for the up and comers, and you have Becky back in the main event where really we know she belongs.
Okay, I don't hate that. I don't hate that. So we'll see where it goes, but I don't hate either option. I don't hate my option, which might not happen, but I don't hate your option either in regards to just giving it to the young girls and seeing how they can be able to continue to build their resumes and just kind of develop their character. So yeah, I'm good either way. Listen, I am just going to bypass the women's war games because we're not going to talk about it.
Well, and we can already clearly tell the fifth person for each team is now going to be AJ and Becky.
Yeah.
So we already get that.
Clear. That's clear.
Right, whatever.
Let's get to the men's now. I love the fact that they didn't even wait. right? Like, you
Yeah.
saw they came out and there was no pandering. There's no just let's stretch this promo out. Let's stretch this segment out. No. They got straight to it. Drew, you saw Drew out there. You saw, the Bronze out there. You saw Logan Paul. You got Paul Heyman bringing up the rear, being confident. And all of a sudden, CM Punk comes out. All of a sudden, the Usos come out. All of a sudden, Cody comes out, right? And now it's a Pier 6 brawl. Pier 6 brawl, and the Garden is on fire. People love it. Everybody's fighting in different quandaries. You see everything's going crazy. It's just mayhem at this point. And then I'm going to look, right? I'm panning to the entranceway because I nudged my man Chris and I said, anytime now. I said, anytime now. The beast is coming. I said, anytime. I said, listen, if I don't get what I want tonight, I'm never coming back to another wrestling event for another 6, 7, 8 months. All right. I'm boycotting. If I don't get
until the next time they're back in my city.
That's right. I am boycotting if I don't see Brock Lesnar. And all you heard was, that sound. And I said, Brock is here. Like I said, I wish the video can't load. It just won't load. But Brock Lesnar comes out. The place goes bananas. He comes out. He does his thing.
Here's a dumb question. I don't mean to cut you off on that. Why are the people going bananas for Brock Lesnar?
Because it's Brock Lesnar. That's why. It's Brock Lesnar. It doesn't matter. We understand all the other stuff, right? It's just the wrestling part, right? He is the only guy outside of Roman Reigns as a badass that you believe is a badass, right? Mm-hmm. Like he wears that villain badass persona to a T because you can believe it. And that's why his gimmick has never changed over the last 15 years. You can continue to just suplex people as much as he wants. The roof is gonna blow off because they know what they're getting out of Brock Lesnar. He is a safe bet to put your money on in regards to what you're going to see. You're going to get a guy that knows how to sell in the ring. He's believable. He's going to give you exactly what you want. So the roof goes off. People love Brock Lesnar. And I'm like, okay, yeah, suplex whoever the hell you want to hell in there, whoever the heck you want to suplex in there. I am now panning back to the entranceway because I said, anytime now, my guy is gonna walk through those curtains. All right, because listen, my son is named after this man. Okay, I said, anytime now, you need to come through. And Roman Reigns hits the place, and the place goes crazy, and mayhem ensues. Right, we get a Lesnar versus Roman Reigns stare down. It was great. You got Roman Reigns putting Bronson Reed through the barricade. He had a
along with two of NYPD's finest,
or NPYD if you want to call them that. They're not NYPDs. Put them through it. It was great. It was just mayhem, and we got everything that we needed for War Games in that match. Now, for that encounter, it got me excited for War Games. I wasn't excited before, but seeing all of these stars, just think about the stars that are in this match. Like, there are so many stars that are in this match. I understand it now, right?
What's the story for it? Where's the blood for it?
Who cares?
We're going to forget about what we were angry about last week.
Yeah, listen, I saw it live. I don't care anymore. I understand why they did it, Josh. All right, because the amount of stars that was there, I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, Drew, Cody, you got Roman, you got Punk, you got Roman, you got Brock, you got all of these different stories here. We get it. We understand. Put them in there. See what happens. We understand it. I get it. It's not for. This is not the conventional build that I want, but when you talk about dream matches, you want to put these guys in a cage and see what happens, right? Sometimes you don't need the story, and I think I'm convincing myself at this point to sell it, right? But
question.
I saw it live.
Question.
Yeah.
Who are the team captains?
I don't know. Josh. I don't know this. Is it Punk? Is it Braun? Is it Logan? I don't know. Maybe it's Cody. Maybe it's Cody. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, Cody was wearing a shirt that said team captain.
There you go. Punk, Punk doesn't care.
People are not treating it like the captain, and I think that's where a story can go.
It's possible. Listen. I think that we're gonna get what we get at War Games. I think that Jey Uso turns heel. That's just what I think. I think Jey Uso turns heel. There's two scenarios: Jey Uso turns heel, or Roman Reigns tells the team, "Go screw yourself," and he leaves.
Here's a weird way things that, and I'm pretty positive. One of these I know isn't going to happen at all, but part of me just wants to, based on the creativity of what happened at the end of Raw.
Yeah.
I want those cops that were speared by Roman to press charges on the night of Survivor Series, and Roman gets arrested.
And he has
to be replaced. And you have a surprise replacement. Will that happen? Of course not. But that's what I want.
Who in this crazy scenario, who would be the surprise replacement?
Obafemi.
Yeah.
So you can at least have someone on the babyface side that is future.
Right.
I know that's not happening.
Listen, I love the crazy though. I love the crazy. I'm buying.
But here's something that could happen. And no one's touched on this yet. Jey Uso and Bronson Reed are both in this tournament for Cena.
Yes.
When does the finals of that tournament happen?
When does it happen? It happens
at Survivor Series.
And so, yes.
So you could tease if what we hope happens and Carmelo somehow wins because maybe someone distracts Bronson and Carmelo advances. Jay's still in the tournament. The story could be Jay gets to the finals of this tournament, and now he has to somehow do double duty at Survivor Series. What does he care more about? And that's where the heel turn could come in because he focuses and loses the finals of the tournament to whoever. Because, that could be, now that I'm thinking it out loud, that could be your rubber, well, it's not a rubber match with Gunther and Jay, but it's one more time this year where Jay beat him at Mania, Gunther got the title back from him, and now you have them in the finals again for that. So he's bummed with that. And who knows wherever he loses. And then the War Games match happens. And either he's the one who gets pinned or Jimmy's the one who gets pinned. And those two losses solidify the heel turn.
Interesting. I would hate to see Jey Uso in a final, but for the
I don't want him there.
Yeah, but for story, for story purposes, just to be able to build the suspense, I think that would make sense. Yeah.
You could have him against LA Knight. You could have him against Carmelo.
Yeah.
You can have him against, and obviously you can have him against Gunther too. So all those could make sense.
Yeah, I am excited for War Games. So to close out the show, we have a question here. Was that P Iris Wrestling question? Do you think El Grande Americana needs to debut a Lady Americana or Lady Britannica to have other countries with El Grande Americano?
It would be kind of funny if they had a female Americana.
Right.
I don't know if it's needed, but it's going to be interesting. Like we touched on earlier, Chad Gable is in the process of, coming back.
Yeah.
So does he just come back as Chad Gable and we forget about all the other stuff because Grande Americano is doing so well?
Right.
Or does he come back for us then to be like, wait, who's the real Grande Americano type deal?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting to see. I think anything that Chad Gable does turns to gold to me. I love Chad Gable. So whether it's Grande Americana or he comes back to Chad Gable, doesn't matter to me. He's just money on TV, and I want to see him back, and I can't wait. But yeah, like I said, I am a complete fraud at this point, Josh, because I was so angry about War Games last week.
I know.
I am on the other side now. I'm on the other side now.
Could not tell him the
And,
least.
and that's what they do to people like me, right? People that are angry. They say, "Oh, just buy a ticket. Just buy a ticket. Just come and see what happens, and maybe you'll change your mind." I'm like, no, I'm not gonna change my mind. I'm still upset. I need to see it out. And then you see all of these stars, and I get starstruck. I'm like, okay, I get it. I understand. Here's my money. Take it.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I'm sure moments after we get off the air, I'm going to get a text from Barry, and he's going to say, "I got my ticket for San Diego for Survivor Series.
Yeah.
I'm going to fly down there.
Yeah.
Are you going to meet me?" And I'm going to reply, say, "Did you buy my ticket?" He will say no, and then I will say, "Have fun."
Then you're going to leave me on red. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Josh, my man. Abbreviated show. I mean, we did what, almost an hour. This is a good show. But we have more to talk about next week. I'm sure there's going to be a lot to discuss. We got SmackDown coming up. We got another Raw to come up. So we will have a lot to be able to digest and dissect and analyze and discuss. So if you don't have any closing words,
So in closing, I feel like you ask me this every week, and I should be more prepared for it.
Yes, you should be. Okay. Should be written out at this point.
Yeah. Well, in closing, the Garden is the Mecca for a reason.
Yeah.
And you got to experience it yourself. And other wrestling arenas that Monday Night Raw and SmackDown go to in America, take note. That is how fans should be.
All right.
And some cities they are, but most they're not.
Correct. Absolutely.
There you go.
Good closing words for me. My closing words are just, I am going to miss John Cena so much because of what he brought to wrestling. The polarizing figure that he was, the fact that he was so consistent, the fact that he was a guy that was always the company guy and did the right thing. Even when people didn't really care to see him, he was still very consistent. And that to me rings volumes in regards to the legend and how great he is because there'll never be another John Cena. Like for me, there would just never be another John Cena because of everything that he encompasses, everything that he was as a wrestler, as an entertainer, as a figurehead for the company, all the Make-A-Wish stuff that he did. Like there will never be another John Cena. And just seeing how much people respect him and seeing how people are coming out in droves to see him one last time, just shows the impact and the greatness and the lasting legacy that he will always have on the wrestling business. And for me, it was great to see him. It was sad for me because I'm like, damn, like John Cena's really gone. Like this is it. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, that's just my closing words. John Cena, respect, man. We will miss you as wrestling fans because there'll never be another one like you.
I mean, you're 100% right. There will never be anyone who's done that much for that length of time.
Yeah.
Like John Cena.
Yeah. So until next week, stay safe, stay cool. Peace. Y'all got my money. All right. Y'all got my money. Take it, WWE.
Well, I